Bicentennial Man is a 1995 comedy, family, drama, romance, science fiction film starring Robin Williams, directed by Chris Columbus, and it also stars Sam Neill, Wendy Cruzan, Oliver Platt, Haley Kate Eisenberg, and Ambeth Davids, or however you say her name. I've never been able to say her name. She played Miss Honey in Matilda. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. So the movie is it's Robin Williams' vehicle. It is not 100% good, not 100% bad. Like I already talked about in Patch Adams, how the movie wasn't very good, but it would have been a lot better if Robin Williams wasn't in it. And Bicentennial Man, it's kind of a similar sort of thing. But at least with Bicentennial Man, the movie is 130 minutes, so just over 2 hours. And the first hour is not only good, it is really good. Second half, well, the second hour and 10 minutes really flounders. So yeah, I can't really call the movie. I can't say that this movie sucked because the first hour was so good, and there's a couple of scenes in the second hour and 10 minutes where there's some makeover scenes that are actually quite good. Those scenes involve Oliver Platt. So you have Oliver Platt to thank for making the second half of the film watchable. Well, to getting you through the rest of the film, you have Oliver Platt to thank for that. So the movie takes place a couple years into the future. The Martin family, whose patriarch is Sam Neill, and his matriarch is Wendy Cruzan. They have two daughters, including Haley Kate Eisenberg. They buy this robot to help out with a family whose name is Andrew, and Andrew is played by Robin Williams. So Andrew's brought in to serve the family, and right away, most of the family takes immediate liking to him, except for the older daughter. She's a bit of a rebel. She's never really liked him. But it's still not that bad of a dynamic that happens. There's so much love and affection that goes on in this family, like between the regular humans and with Andrew, that it's just so heartwarming the way that it all happens. Like I remember there's this one scene where Andrew. Where the younger daughter, who's played by Haley Kate Eisenberg, who Andrew calls Little Miss, she lets Andrew hold one of her prized limited edition glass toys, glass horses, or I think it's a glass horse. And Andrew accidentally he's a robot, and he doesn't hold it well. So he shatters it accidentally. She hates him for that. But because Andrew is so precise in some of his ways, and he's a robot, he's able to adapt to certain things. He carves her out of wood, a brand new one, and it looks beautiful. It's such a beautiful, such a moving scene, and she totally loves him for that. And this is one of those artificial intelligence films where the robots try to become as human as possible by learning emotions, and I really like that about this one. I thought that the humane aspect of Andrew was very well conceived and very, very well done with this. So, yeah, there's some spoilers in this because I have to say why. I have to. I just have to. Um, so at around the hour-long mark, um, the movie is top-notch, pitch perfect. It is it is an easy 4-star film right here. The first hour alone, perfect by all means. But then Mr. Martin passes away, and okay, I first saw this film when I was 4 years old. Okay, didn't remember any of it. Rewatched it just a couple years ago. And I didn't really remember anything about it, but when I rewatched it, and when Samuel passed away, for some reason I thought that was the end of the film, just because it was so good, perfect ending spot. But I realized that we were only at the hour mark, and there was still another hour and 10 minutes left. So I like when Samuel passed away, I thought to myself, geez, how are they gonna follow this up? If they're able to follow up this first half, I'm gonna be extra impressed with it. Unfortunately, they didn't, and I really should have known better. The movie, it's called Bicentennial Man. Bicentennial meaning 200. So yeah, Andrew is not going to live a full 200 years with this Martin family. Yeah, he may be around with some of the Martins' grandkids and everything, but yeah, it wouldn't actually be um, like Samuel and Wendy Cruzen living just a couple years into the future. It would be like long into the future. But boy, I wish it did stay with the Martin family that we're presented with at the beginning of the film, because the first half is just so good. The second hour and 10 minutes really falls flat on its face. I didn't really trash Patch Adams a couple days ago. I did give it a downgrade. I didn't like Patch Adams, and the second half of Bicentennial Man is just as bad as that. It is overly schmaltzy, overly sappy, overly manipulative, and it is not very good at all. Um, so after after Mr. Martin passes away and Andrew goes out on himself and tries to be more human, he ends up falling in love with Little Miss's granddaughter. Um, okay, adult Little Miss is played by Emmett Davids, and her granddaughter is also played by her. Said that skips a generation. I didn't mind that aspect. I thought having Davids play two different generations was. I thought that was an okay thing. But yeah, Andrew actually romances Little Miss's granddaughter, and that was just bad. That was just a really bad move on their behalf. And yeah, Andrew is desperate to become an actual person. He needs in dire need to actually die. But what about what about the adventure and the fun that's presented in Living? In the movie, it's just it just falls so flat. It's like though that overly schmaltzy Gary Marshall kind of thing. I'm not bashing Gary Marshall, but you know what I mean by that overly sentimental kind of thing where nothing is earned. And yeah, we have to suffer through that for a full hour and 10 minutes. But as I mentioned earlier on, the saving grace in the second hour and some is Oliver Platt. Oliver Platt plays the scientist who is able to make Andrew's transition from a robot into a regular human being. So the parts where Andrew is in Oliver Platt's office, and Oliver Platt is remaking him into a human, like he's giving him the human exterior so that Andrew looks more like Robin Williams. All those scenes are very well done. So well done to the point where my thumb was almost up for this. The first half was so good, easily a 4-star first half, but the second half presented those couple of scenes with Oliver Platt. My thumb was almost up, but yeah, that didn't really do enough for me. So my thumb is down for this one. So what I've done ever since rewatching Bicentennial Man just a couple years ago is I've watched it a couple times since then. I only watched the first hour of the film because the first hour, all by itself, could be its own film. It could be something all by itself. Like people say that the first 5 minutes of Up could be its own little thing. Well, same thing with Bicentennial Man. The first hour of Bicentennial Man is something really to behold. Second half sucks. So I'm going to give Bicentennial Man as a whole 2.5 stars out of 4.